But they used them.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Chairman Bonity, here. Vice Chairman Alfrio,
Here.
Secretary Sienna,
Here.
Judy Bannon,
Present.
Zachary Canada,
Here.
Kim Dawson,
She's 5 minutes out, so she'll be here.
thanks, Victoria Alonso.
Here. Okay, please join me in salute to the flag, which is in this corner. The pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. Visitors, comments limited to items on the agenda. If anyone has something they'd like to speak about, please come up. Thank you. Mayor Angeloni here tonight.
Okay, so I do have some comments, but I know you have a big crowd because of this. So I didn't know if you're going to wait for that until the superintendent's report, if you were moving that up in the agenda. Otherwise, I'll.
That's a distinct, I think that's what we were
Are you?
considering.
You want to make a motion to move it?
Sure. I don't think we need it.
You need a motion to move it?
I don't think we need a motion to move it. So you want to do that first before you get into the rest of your meeting, or you want me to go ahead?
That's a superintendent's decision.
Why don't we recognize the students who are there with their parents and then
Yes.
at the time.
That's fine.
Yes.
That's why I asked.
Seems that's reasonable. Okay.
Did you approve the consent agenda?
No.
Would you like to make a motion and approve the consent agenda? Then I'll
Well-
circle back.
Well, do you want to do student reps before we do the consent agenda?
I can do it right after my report.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Well, okay, so my comments were in regards to your minutes. So if you're going to do that, then I'll have.
Yeah, I thought we were going to do the students first, the artists that are here, before we jump into the meeting. Is that acceptable to everybody?
Yeah. Second. I know it was a motion, but I'm fine with that.
So, artwork is fine. Scott, do you want to take
I was like,
for the students?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but before we do that, I'd like to introduce our new student reps.
Okay, great.
That, once again, exceptional choice by our administrative team. I have Mateo Arena. You have the photographs and the bios in your board packet. I'm not going to read their bios. And Isabel Warren, they're exceptional students and members of the school community. They involve themselves in just about everything. And I'm really proud to have them sitting at the table this year. So congratulations and welcome. We look forward to your feedback each meeting when you read your reports, because there's times where you're the pulse of what's going on in the community, in the schools, and we need to hear from you, because that's why we're here. All right? So,
Sometimes we put you on the spot and ask you how something went.
You both have very impressive resumes. I'm excited to see your senior year for you guys.
Thank you.
And Isabella, didn't you do the Constitution reading yesterday?
Yep,
Congratulations
yep.
on that.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
okay, we're going to move to my report. I have Elizabeth Kaplan here, Director of the Fine Arts Department. If you want to come forward and share why these wonderful artists are here this evening. And
Sure. Hang this back up. Try a new method, apparently better problem solving next year.
no worries.
Okay, so first of all, I apologize going back to board members, superintendent, and student reps. As Mr. Schoonmaker said, I'm Elizabeth Kaplan, I'm the department chair. It is always my honor to be part of a celebration of the arts. Tonight is visual arts. We so appreciate the superintendent, the Board of Ed, building administration, families being here this evening to celebrate our student artists. They work so hard all year long. We love when the show goes up at the library. This year will be in May of 2026 at the Smith Library, so please come. It's always such a gratifying experience seeing them in these beautiful spaces that we have in our library. So without further ado, let me introduce our team. From Jerome Harrison, Christina Luchin, come on up. TDS, Elise Mortensen. NDIS, Susan Horn. I apologize, my art colleague at the high school, Lauren McGinney, couldn't be here this evening. It's been rough all week. She's been fighting off something, so hopefully she's doing some self-care tonight. So this is our team. Do you want to do a photo first, and then?
If you can call the students to come up and get their artwork, stand, take a picture. Parents, please come forward and take pictures, take your parents, and get a picture or photo while holding their art with their art teacher. Okay, if you're okay with it, if you put it on our website, I can send out an email, and if you're not okay with it, then we respect that.
So we put the artwork up in order of month, and some of our high school students that graduated couldn't be here this evening, so we're going to start with Jerome Harrison. For September, we have Nicholas Valenti and Grayson Talbot. Please come up.
Grayson, right?
I'll hold it.
And also from Jerome, our November artist, Owen DeMeo.
Perfect time of the year.
Dan.
All right, I'm gonna have
Okay, next up we have TVES, our February artists. We have Aubrey Pacelli and Gianluca Moali.
I'm gonna stand in the back. Who's that guy?
And our July artist, also from TVS, Edward Bunn.
You're gonna be in every one of these photos.
Okay, next we have NDIS. We have Bailey Salmon.
Thomas, yes. All right.
And from NDHS, we have Quinn Leonard.
Cats.
The cats.
I think both sets.
That's Quinn.
Last but certainly not least, Bobby McDermott from the high school.
So we, yeah, is that the last one?
Yep.
All right, so right up here, don't be shy. All right, we're gonna have to stand right here together. All right. Teachers are gonna be behind you, one group shy.
Pretty good, yeah. Yeah. Pretty good. Have you been? You can draw some stick figures with animals. Yeah.
Taller people are maybe kneel down. Can you do that?
Taller people kneel down.
Well, he's down the phone compared to. There you go. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Good. Everyone good, parents? All right,
Thank you so
so
much, everyone.
Parents, thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it very much. Teachers, thank you. Students, thank you.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm gonna have them do their student reports. They're gonna do their student reports next.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good to see you.
Okay, we are gonna continue on with the meeting. At this time, I'll turn it over to our newly appointed student reps.
We'll go back to visitor or comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna have, we have to do the field trip approval as well. Thank you, Liz.
Good night, Liz.
Alright, all set? Alright. We'll begin first with the college planning night and senior college application support. Our college planning night for the class of 2026 was held on the evening of September 9th in the North Branford High School cafeteria. Students received an updated copy of the North Branford High School transcript, which included their GPA and class rank. Mrs. Zator will offer 5 small group sessions for seniors during our flex block to provide additional assistance during the college application process. Cell phone policy next. During advisory on the first day of school, staff reviewed our updated classroom technology with students. This policy reflects the urgency to limit personal technology access in the classroom and mirrors the growing trends in schools across our state and nation. So far, our rollout of this new bell-to-bell policy has been a great success. Teachers have expressed their gratitudes at these new expectations and have reported that students are more engaged academically and socially.
On the same topic of just school support and growth, we wanted to talk about the school culture collaboration. So on September 24th, NBHS will kick off a year-long collaboration with Kendrick Moore, a motivational speaker currently working as a consultant through the Connecticut Association of Schools. Mr. Moore's message of locking in, being present, and committing to doing your best for yourself and community is sure to resonate with our students and staff. We really look forward to promoting this important message throughout the year. We also wanted to talk about the reading of the U.S. Constitution on its 237th anniversary that took place last night. Seniors Sophia Sorrell and myself, Isabella Warren, joined area high school students from Branford, Guilford, Killingworth, and Madison for a public reading of the entire U.S. Constitution. The reading took place on September 17th at the Guilford Free Library and was sponsored by the East Shore chapter of the League of Women Voters.
So exciting.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Not a lot to report yet, it's only the third full week of school or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the cell phone policy.
Yeah.
I've seen numerous times where they're in the cafeteria and the students are playing board games.
Yeah, yes.
They're playing cards, they're talking, they're interacting.
Yeah.
And the phones are all sitting on a table.
Mhm.
And it's great to see. Aside from, the academic classroom and the whole, but in your times where it's social, the students are really doing a great job.
Yes, yeah.
So, thank you. It's not easy, and the administration, this has been a battle for years, and it's grown to a point where it had to be addressed because it's such a distraction, and so many things change when you separate.
Yeah.
So, well done. Good job tonight, too.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're free to go, and we'll see you in the morning.
Wonderful.
All right? Thank you.
Thank
Good job, guys.
Thanks so much. We're going to go back to the visitor section. So, any visitors, welcome to come up and address items on the agenda, please.
Rosa Angeloni, Town Council Liaison to the Board of Education. So I was unable to attend the August Board of Ed meeting, but I did watch it several times just to make sure that I understood everything, and I read your minutes. And there's just a few points that I would like to make clarification on information that was given that was not correct as far as the Town Council fund goes. So the first part is there was discussion about, talk about the lease at the Auger House. So there is not a lease because you do not pay any money for it. It's called a use and occupancy agreement. Actually, the use and occupancy agreement expired on June 30th of 2024. So this item will be on our agenda at our meeting next week. The only thing that we've asked the attorney to adjust in here is that it's an automatic renewal so that we don't have to, because it seems to get dropped through the cracks as far as who brings it forward to renew this occupancy. So he's going to put wording in it so it's an automatic renewal, and that either party, either side would have X number of days to give notice that they're going to cancel it. And then it will come to the board also for approval on there. But I know there was discussion in regards to work that had to be done at the Auger House. And in this use and occupancy agreement, it does state in here that the board is responsible at its sole expense for routine maintenance and repairs to the mechanical, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. So the work that was discussed that was done by the Board of Ed, it seems to fall under the category that it would be a board expense, because I know there was talk about sending it to the town manager and asking the town to pay for that expense. I don't know if that has happened. I haven't seen anything in regards to that. But
And I'll comment on the Auger House. Are you finished with the Auger House, or is there more on the Auger House? Before you end, I want to just comment on.
Yeah, and I also do know that there is an air quality test that is happening in regards to the Auger House, and so we're waiting for the results of that air quality test to come back to see what the issues are, and then it'll be up for discussion as to where it falls on there. Because I do know that the superintendent had asked if we had any other space available, and unfortunately we do not have any space available to move that program or to put people where whoever was having problems in that building. So I do know that there's an air quality test that is going on, that is being done right now in regards to that.
So I just want to comment on the Auger House. So I sent you a notification about summer work that was done. I spent approximately $7,000 on the Auger House this summer, $30,000 to renovate it. We did extensive work on air quality, and we seem to continually be running into roadblocks. We're in a place right now where we're fine, and I'm going to look privately for other locations. So I just want to give you the strong potential that we may not be going into back into the Auger House, and anything that was placed in there would obviously that we own, we would remove and turn it back over to the town. So the timing is actually perfect. Because we don't have the funding to continue to, we poured a concrete floor, we put in central air conditioning, a new furnace, we put in an industrial dehumidifier in the basement, we had the outside power wash, we've had it cleaned completely, the ducts cleaned, we put all hardwood floors down, we've removed carpeting, we've put in a full kitchen, we've repaired all of the windows, and at this point, we're bending, and we're in a good place right now. The program is going to continue to grow. We would have outgrown the Auger House, and it's been a wonderful part of our program, but it looks like we're going to have to look elsewhere.
So all those expenses that you just described were 30,000, or?
No, probably 37,000.
Because just the dehumidifier was
Yeah.
over 3,000.
It was like 2,800 or something like that. Yeah. So we put a lot of money into that. Now we'll recoup all of that and we'll move what's ours out of there. But we're not going to continue to throw bad money at bad money. Sure. And we're not going to put anyone in danger with air quality. So we are at the auditorium right now at the high school. We have ample space. The team has done an amazing job accommodating our students. And we're at this time looking for private space for the program and trying to work something out. So
We need a place for the kitchen so that
it will
make
be
dog biscuits.
multifunctioning. Possibly a storefront would be great for skills for our students. We do a lot of sales of our dog bones and our bracelets.
Are we still in visitor comments? Because it seems to be getting
Yes,
a
we're
little off.
going off.
What's the Auger
Going
House?
off the
No,
rails a little.
well,
You
but
commented on the Auger House, and I'm just updating.
But
the
it's
report.
visitor comments right now?
Yes,
so I'm
it is,
sorry
it is.
if
You
I-
do have the floor. I apologize. So
Okay.
you have other topics to discuss.
Yes. Then there was also discussion, there was lengthy discussion about the TDS paving project. And there was, some comments that were made that were not in, I just want to clarify on that. So the town council did discuss this at our meeting in August. And on there, we did discuss ECS money, but there will be no ECS money that is going towards this project, as was stated at your meeting. There was money, the state did cut ECS funding to North Branford by $254,000. That was reinstated in June when they approved the budget. That money is coming back to North Branford, and it just stays in the, however they account for the ECS money, all of that money is staying in ECS. So none of that money is being used for the TBS project. There was originally $50,000 from budget funds that were allocated for the project, $200,000 from fund balance. When we had to cut the budget, make additional cuts to the funding, we cut the $50,000 from the budget funds on there, knowing that when the CIP budget came back to us, we were still getting numbers as to where we would come up with that $50,000. And it's actually going to be coming from other funding sources, which could include capital projects that have been finalized and there's balances left. It could come from Board of Education. There's multiple categories of where that other funding. So the information that was given that the finance office on the town side, as it was stated, that the additional money has been paid for and that it's like that project is all covered, that is not true. So the way the CIP budget works for the town is at our last meeting, we have to approve our CIP budget and it has to go to planning and zoning for what's called an 824 referral. So at that point in time, we had the cost for the TBS project, which we knew was going to go over budget, and that is why we had the meeting in June prior to the project starting, and it was a joint meeting between the town council and Board of Education. And the project was brought up. The discussion that was had was, we asked if the board members that were there, and if they would bring it back to the board to discuss it, because that's when we asked if the board would consider paying any cost overruns. We did not have the numbers at that time because the project didn't start. The project did not start until July, but we knew it was coming up. And you still had your June meeting to go, to have. So we did it prior to the June meeting so that the information could come back to the board. I was at the June meeting. I know it wasn't discussed. July was canceled, and then last month, August.
That was a regular town council meeting, correct?
No, it wasn't. It was the meeting that I'm referring to is the joint meeting that we had in the town manager's office.
Oh, the communications meeting.
It was like a it wasn't called communications.
But at no time did we agree to pay for it.
No, we didn't.
We did not
That
agree to
wasn't
pay
the
for the pay.
no, I know.
Okay, just clarify.
Yeah, no, I didn't say you agreed. We asked if you would bring it back to the board for discussion. And during that meeting, as the board chair stated at last month's meeting, there was discussion. There was two possible funding sources. One, which was brought up from the town council side, was would it qualify for funding through the FRC account? Because TDS is an FRC school, and part of the work that was being done was the playground area on there. And so, was it possible to use FRC funds for that? The other part of the discussion, the other funding source that was brought up, which the board chair did mention at last month's meeting, was the $50,000, which came out of the audit. And that $50,000 was actually two purchase orders or two payments that were made. One was for gym equipment for approximately $42,000 and change for the new high school project. The other was approximately $7,200 for unit ventilators, which is a capital project. Both of those were paid for out of the 2% fund, or account 25. So that approximately $50,000 is coming back to your 2% fund. It does not put you over the limit because it was already in the 2% fund prior to the 23-24 year. School year, so it does not affect the balance that is going in for the 23-24 year. So that $50,000, and as the board chair stated, both she and the superintendent said that might be a possible funding source. We did not, there was no decisions made. It was asked to be brought to back to the board. So we did ask the board, because there was mention made that, we didn't ask the board about these cost overruns. Well, it was presented to the board in this meeting. We know that there was no agreement to pay for it. We didn't ask for agreements. We never talked about having it come out of your operating fund. The only two funding sources were FRC and the 2% fund, so we never asked to have it come out of your operating fund at all. Then when the project was, there was also discussion about who makes the decisions to continue with the project, like who operates. The Department of Public Works, Fran Marola, is the one that runs those projects, the paving projects. And as it was stated in earlier meetings, especially during budget season, is the Board of Education was going to be working with Public Works in regards to paving, having work done when the machines are in town to cut down on cost, and they would run the projects. And that's exactly what happened. And that was also stated at the board meeting, that that's how they were going to run the projects, is through Department of Public Works. So Franny Marola or Dan Celentano, one of the two, I don't know, it was a combination of the two of them, walked the project with the administrator from TVES. He obviously had some safety concerns, and since they were doing the projects, he asked about increasing the parent drop-off area. So that was not part of the original quote. In order to do that, they had to take down trees and do some stump grinding, which the town did. They did not charge the Board of Ed, nor are they going to charge the Board of Ed, and it's approximately probably $3,000 or $4,000 to do the work, that just that part of the work that they were going to do, that they did do, and they increased the parking area to make it a safer drop-off. They also asked, they had the police chief come in and walk the property. They put up additional stop signs, stop bars, so they have additional signage. So that was not part of the original project either. When they actually started doing the project, when they tore up the parking lot, there was stone and drainage in the front parking area that had to be addressed. Those decisions, as Fran Marola told the town council, those decisions are made by him at the time. He cannot stop the project and ask them to wait until he gets a decision from the council on those. They would be, Tilcon is the one that happened to do this project. They would be gone and out of town by that. Those decisions have to be made at that point in time. So he's the one that runs the project and goes forward with the projects on there. Also, the project has not been paid for on there. We had to put it on our CIP request. That has to go to planning and zoning. So the $200,000, that remained on there. That was what was approved from fund balance. The additional $91,000 and change, I think they rounded it up to $95,000, is listed under additional funding on there. The town council, the quote that came in, that was provided to us, that was part of the board, what the board approved as your CIP project was 260,000. So that's what the council is funding. is
Excuse me, this should be part of the
Yeah,
communication
yeah.
committee meeting.
Yeah.
This
There-
is not,
There's so many
this has been like 10
inaccuracies,
minutes
there's
of
so many
talking.
inaccuracies already
this should
stated
be
about
at a
funding
communication committee.
sources
Okay,
and
okay.
about the 2% account, which is in this year's budget. So
Let's
this is not
Let's
appropriate.
not have discussion back and forth up here to public input. We're gonna keep, Rose, if you could
Yeah,
wrap that up,
so-
because it's getting a little long, and
Right.
it is gonna be on our communications, agenda, so.
So I did hear the part of your meeting where it was discussed that there, you do not need a motion to decide if you're going to contribute any money or not contribute money. And all I would like to say is that I would ask the board to please consider the town manager's request. Because the money there was no discussion about taking it out of your operating budget. There was 2 other funding sources on there. That is in regards to the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then I would like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda of the September 18th, 2025 Board of Education meeting.
The, August 21st, you mean? Or is it the consent agenda?
The consent agenda.
Okay.
Sorry.
Second.
She did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was, all right. This was today consent agenda, today's agenda.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, today's
But we didn't
consent
accept the minutes yet. Okay. All right. I have something to add to the minutes from the previous meeting.
Okay, so we made a motion in a second, now it's time for discussion.
Okay. Any discussion on our consent agenda?
You, minutes.
The minutes of last month's meeting.
That's what we're approving.
Okay, well, that's what I want to add.
Yeah.
This is what I want to add, I'm sorry, Mary. I want to add the list of new district certified staff that was handed out at that meeting. I want to add this to the minutes, please. Yes.
Last month's minutes, last month's.
Do you have this list? I don't.
As an attachment, we just,
As an
because we approved it in the minutes,
Yes.
you want it as an attachment
Is this
to
for
the
her to
approval.
keep?
Yes.
Keep that.
Okay.
To last month.
Apologize. Okay. Now where are we? A vote. Let's take our vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
All done.
Okay. Okay. So now are we back to the superintendent?
We are.
Yes.
So we have completed the recognition of the art students. The Board of Ed briefs are attached under the letter C. I'm sure you had a chance to look at those. We're really busy. Doing it. That was approved in your motion. for
We don't need to
consent.
talk about it.
No. In your consent agenda, you did approve the Philadelphia, PA, April 24th to attend and perform the Heritage Music Festival in Philly. The chorus and band will travel to New York City on Thursday, the 13th, to attend the Michael Jackson musical. And the North Branford Community School is process of planning their 8th grade trip for the fall. You'll have to vote on that. It's an overnight trip. So those are just updates so you're aware what the music program is doing. And that was all in your consent agenda. So some great venues for the kids. You have a copy of the briefs, authority to hire. We are fully staffed with our certified teachers at this time. We are still looking for a few paraprofessionals. So if you know anyone that's looking to get into the field of education and wants to come in and work for us, we'd love to talk with them. Finance report, as you're aware, Martha Vaughn is not here this evening. She attached her finance report. You had that. If there's any questions, I encourage you to email her specifically. She will be back in district next Tuesday. My Superintendent's Advisory Council PAC will start probably next month. We meet every 2 to 3 months with parents from each of the schools, and we talk about activities, events, things that are going on in the district. Questions, concerns, they have the opportunity to share. As you are aware, I sent you an attachment yesterday. The fees will be going out at, they went out at 6 o'clock, Mr. Lonsdale, so parents have already had a chance to digest, which is very unfortunate. I've never been a proponent of activity fees or participation fees, as you know, that we put a $1.8 million budget forward and received $200,000. So many decisions had to be made. The 2% account is totally being used from last year, this year, to offset. We had to remove 10 positions from our budget, and then I have to offset with these activity fees. So the parents are getting their rates tonight and how they'll be able to pay for all activities. Every student will be getting an email in the mail this evening, and then every student participating in middle school and high school sports will be getting a separate voucher that they'll have to pay in order to participate. So they're getting that this evening.
Free public education, right?
Community Roundup, which is a great annual event here in North Branford. The community really comes out with the middle school and the food pantry on October 25th to stock the shelves. So they'll go around from house to house, and they gather teams at the middle school, and they have a great time doing it, and it's such a great cause. So we're really proud that we're continuing to do that, and we look forward to, to participating once again. Pending request, you heard before about the request for participation in the paving project at TVS. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. The renovation project I already mentioned with the Auger House, that we're looking to move on to another facility, and I'll keep you apprised of that as I have a status on that. Renovation project, we're coming towards the end of the punch list. There's been a lot of landscaping activity that's been going on around the backside of the building where we had the washouts. So there are small items like that that we're working on, and I know that Beth and Zach will update us if there's anything that they feel is relevant to that. And that's it.
Okay. Now we have committee reports. Negotiations. Marcy, you want to take that one?
We're starting with negotiations with the teachers union. We met last night for our first meeting, and we have another meeting on September 30th.
Yes, we do. Thank you. Budget and operations, there's been no meeting. Curriculum and instruction, you had one tonight. Judy, will you take that?
Sure. We've been having discussions over the last couple of meetings, and we'll be moving forward with regard to teacher burnout and things that we might be able to do to assist with that. Carter shared some information with us. I'm not going to share every single thing that we talked about, but kind of, made a little, what can we do, what's happening now, and what would be our continued goals. Moving forward, Carter is going to be having another book club with the Anxious Generation book. I believe you said you had about 20-ish people signed up that are interested. This book fits in nicely with the concerns right now that everyone's having about devices and children and how they're affecting their learning and their lives in general. So with the changes in our cell phone policy, this seems to be the right time to bring that back again and offer it to parents. We'll talk about the student achievement results next month. It's a little bit early right now for us to be discussing that. And we talked a little bit about the health requirements in 5th grade and the classes that are offered to the boys and girls there. Did I miss anything?
Spot on. Good.
Notes.
That's right.
Good note-taking. Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Pension, no meeting. And policy, we have one coming up October 1st. Is our first one coming? Okay. And then ACES. So I took the liberty of going online and looking at the minutes
The minutes for the most recent meeting were not available yet. The minutes from their August meeting were available. Basically just going over their projects and expansions. That they run 3 magnet schools, 7 special education schools, and they are expanding their services. And that's pretty much what was discussed at that meeting. There were discussions of grants and, how they were going to pay for these various expansions. And then next month I'll have the September information for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Building committee.
No meeting in the last couple of weeks,
Okay.
so to
Nice.
what,
What are you doing
Scott
for
was-
your time?
Yeah, right? What Scott was mentioning, that there's, following up on the last kind of, list of things to do, and hopefully smooth sailing from there.
Okay.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
With
please.
regard to the cell phone changes, 612, will we be revisiting our actual policy on cell phones
We will.
soon?
Our current policy is up to date.
Right,
We'll look to implement regs and things to that when we meet again. So there's a couple policies that we have to address, and we're gonna be doing that.
okay, I was
Those
just
two
reading
will
over
be-
it, and it seemed like there may be a little tweak here or there
Yeah.
that needed to be made. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
They were recommendations, not statutory requirements by the governor,
Right,
and by the State Board of Education, and they strongly supported that we have, plans in place at our buildings and both schools. The kids have done amazing.
that's what I've heard, yeah.
It really, it's kind of
Really
refreshing.
nice to hear.
It is, so that's a good thing.
Okay. Communication.
So as you're aware, we were looking to reconvene the committee. I emailed town manager on the 22nd requesting, and then I heard back. I followed up on September 2nd, and then I heard back from the mayor on the 9th. So they're looking to convene members of the council. They were going to talk about it at the meeting on the 23rd of September, and then once we know who's in place, we'll look to October to have a communications meeting. So that's where we stand right now.
Yeah, a couple other things have to be ironed out too, as far as who's gonna host the meeting, will there be minutes and those types of things, so we do need to, straighten out a few, just housekeeping things to resurrect that.
I would wish to say that there absolutely should be minutes for those meetings, because there should be no confusion about what's discussed. They need to be accepted as correct by the people that were there, so that there is no confusion moving forward.
And these meetings are open to the public, anyone can come. I don't know about our group, we can only have 3 there, is that correct, or we can have?
Yeah, well, we already had,
We have a communication committee that's 3. I mean, but I know people expressed could be rotated in and
Alternate
out
down.
so that everybody could be part of it.
So I think we know once the first meeting is, the original committee could probably attend that one, if
Right.
possible. And if somebody can't be there, they could ask for someone to fill in. And then we could make like a schedule of what months or what not people could go. Once we have that first date.
I am.
I am.
Myself, well, yeah, it's the 3 of us.
Okay. New business. Visitors and press. Visitors and press.
So I just, on the building project at NBHS, I would just like to remind your 2 representatives on there that you just need to make sure there's follow-up on the 2 invoices for the gym equipment that were disallowed in the audit, that they come, because they're supposed to go to the high school project and be submitted through the high school project. And I know at this point in time, it's going to be because this was discussed at a meeting in June, on this project, that it's beyond the 6-month limit that the state requires you to get your invoices in, but there is an exception, you can still submit them. And at the June meeting, Rusty had talked about there was approximately $250,000 worth of invoices that were beyond the time limit. So you have to make sure that those have been submitted. And then additionally, the two, one was an invoice and one was a purchase order for the gym equipment, which is approximately $122,000, that also goes in, because that's the money for those invoices are coming back to the Board of Ed through that project on there. So I just want to make sure that you follow up on that and that there's a paper trail. And also, as far as the athletic storage building, because I know this is part of permanent project also, and you're on that, is that the funding for that was in the Board of Education, that was pulled. When it came back to the council sent it to permanent project to do it, but there is that motion that sent it there is a limit of $89,000 for that building, because that's based off of the budget that was submitted to us. So you have to make sure that that is followed through on there. And if it goes beyond the $89,000, then it's going to have to come back to the council. But that was based on the budget that was given to us on there. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Make sure that that's followed up on by our representatives. Good of the board.
I will say I got to attend 3 open houses, back to school, meet the teachers, whatever we call it, for 3 different schools, and they were all ran incredibly. So the middle school was this week, and meeting all these 7th grade teachers who have, 115, I think, in their grade. They were saying, like, their geography teacher teaches all these kids, and listening to her talk with that passion that she has, or like some of the staff who's there are returning alumni of our school. Like, it was a great opportunity. It was done so well. And Totucket, it's great to be back there and seeing like excited kids. Like, this is their first time with their lockers and being like a little bit bigger. And then Jerome with like the littlest ones was, the excitement across the board in all schools was palpable. And I just want to thank our administrators for making those environments and for making our nervous kids feel really safe, and our excited kids, you know, everybody have a great environment to learn, so thank you.
Yeah, just reading the little highlights of each school.
There's a lot of highlights considering I've only been in school a few weeks.
I know, and I starred a bunch of them.
They've already done so much.
Sounds really wonderful, so it was, you could kind of pick up on the excitement just reading through, but I'm glad you experienced such a good, welcoming environment for your kiddos. Okay, anybody else have something good with the board? The next regular Board of Education meeting scheduled for Thursday, October 16th, 2025.
Second.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Make a motion?
You guys, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Did you say your vote?
No, okay.